there ought to be a negotiation, but first there should be agreement on raising the debt ceiling. These debts are owed. They are unavoidable. There's no negotiating out of them unless the United States of America, in effect, declares bankruptcy. A great nation like the United States shouldn't even be considering a default. So I think there is room for negotiation. I've repeatedly said that the president should sit down with congressional leaders. Now he's doing so. Glad to see it. But the negotiation ought to be about the budget after we agree to avoid default.
What should be really clear is that we're not going to default on our debt, and that we will have negotiations on future spending. That's where we should be.
But I mean, this is what Republicans are insisting upon. Why not meet them in the middle?
Do you consider what they put out as meeting in the middle? It's not even a serious proposition. So they don't even acknowledge that what we should be doing is making sure that we lift the debt ceiling, that we're not going to default, and that if they want to fight over future spending where they would like to cut, for example, 1 million seniors off of Meals on Wheels, we can have that debate and negotiation.
I don't understand where you're coming from. What the Republicans have said to us, at least McCarthy, is that the fate of the entire economy is at stake as to whether or not we're going to discuss about budget goals and appropriation goals. That is an ordinary part of the congressional process. It will happen, I'm sure, but the notion that we are going to risk defaulting on our debt for the first time in history is just unacceptable.
So is it a red line for you? It must be a clean debt ceiling increase?
I'm looking for that because I think the results otherwise will be disastrous for our economy, and we have a responsibility to avoid that.
Listen, that's not going to pass in the House. The House has already passed a debt ceiling increase. They're the only ones to do it. I'm glad the president, I guess now, has decided that maybe he does want a debt ceiling increase. Maybe he will do his job and actually sit down with members of Congress. What a concept. So let's just see where he gets to. But the president is the one who's asking for a debt ceiling increase. The House has passed one. He's going to have to come forward with a plan. Nothing will pass this chamber without the president sign off. So, I mean, Democrats control this chamber. Let's just review the math. So Joe Biden is going to have to come forward with a plan. And I look forward to seeing what it is. He just announced that he wants to be president for 4 more years. So this is pretty basic to the functions of his job. I mean, let's see if he can come forward with a plan. He's the one asking for the increase. So far from him, nothing. That's not going to fly, I don't think.